And I'm gonna show you guys not only in under 5-6 minutes exactly how I did it, like breaking down both of the trades, but also showing you the full-on strategy in under 2 steps. That's how simple it is, and you guys can replicate it. I'd say in under 90 days, as long as you've backtested and journal everything, you should be good to go in under 90 days, and you're profitable like that. Just do what I'm about to show you. Okay, so here's the 2 shorts on the Nasdaq last night. Here is the proof. So my account margin, the equity is 101,000. I did start this account at the beginning of the week with under $70,000 or around 70 something thousand dollars. Now we're sitting at 101,000. You see yesterday's P&L, well, today's P&L is $27,877. Here is the proof that it was all with NAS 100 shorts. You see it says sells right here. And not only all this proof, but you guys know that I'm the most transparent motherfucker out there. I'm gonna show you guys here on the Discord the money that my members made, but not only what they made, but also see $8,000 here. I think there's another one, $1,700. Somebody got funded with that trade, $2,700, $2,000, $3,000. And I'm also gonna show you guys that I sent this trade previously. So here's the first time at 5 p.m. You see, I said order in for NAS sells, and then I'll update everything once we were in break even. Here was my first 1 TP hit, $17,000 on the first trade. And then on the second trade, I ended up making around 10,000, which you guys see the total ended up being $27,000 in profit. And that's the video. I also refresh it right here, and that's for my students. So if you want access to that or just access to my free course, then just head over to the first link in the description. But let me show you now exactly how I took this trade. The way I'm going to be showing you guys is going to be with a 2-step process. Step number 1 is going to be creating our daily bias, which literally should take you less than 10 minutes. And step number 2 is going to be our 1-minute execution. So for this, we're going to be using 2 time frames. Time frame number 1 is going to be the daily time frame. And time frame number 2 is going to be the 4-hour. And what we want them to be doing is the exact same thing. So a bullish market or a bullish chart is going to consist of higher highs and higher lows being created, higher highs and higher lows being created. So as long as both the daily and the 4-hour are creating higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows, then our daily bias is going to be bullish. Now, if the 4-hour is doing the opposite of the daily, so in this case, the daily is creating higher highs and higher lows, then if the 4-hour is doing the exact same, the opposite, sorry, then there's going to be no clear daily bias, making it so that this pair does not get traded that day up until we get a new higher low that gets created in the 4-hour, and so on and so forth. Now, for yesterday, it's pretty obvious what happened. We had both the daily creating lower lows and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs for NAS 100, and the exact same thing was happening in the 4-hour. So we were able to step down to the 1 minute and look for executions, which is what I'm going to show you in step 2. But I want you guys to understand this very clearly. The only way that you guys are going to be able to see the exact same breaks, and I'm going to show you once we head over to the trading view part of the video, but you need to have my free indicator. It's going to show you the actual break and the actual higher highs and higher lows that I see. It's completely free. You don't have to do anything. All you got to do is head over to the first link in the description, and it's going to give you access for completely free for the indicator. For step number 2, these screenshots are going to be for a long example, right? For a buy. But the reason I'm doing it like that instead of showing you a short example is because once we head over to trading view, I'm going to show you guys an example. Well, not example, but the breakdown of the trades that I took last night, which are sells. So like that, I can show you both the buys and the sells so you don't get confused. Because a lot of people, especially new people, have a lot of troubles like switching their mind and just understanding that the only difference between long and short setups is that one goes up and the other one goes down. There's no difference. But sometimes there's something psychological up there that like messes that up. But okay, for step number 2, the first thing that we're gonna need, and you're gonna see this indicator right here. All it does is it's the indicator that I keep telling you guys that you guys will get for free if you claim it. First link in the description. But what it shows you, you see here is the protected high being broken up. So now we made a higher high and a higher low, and these indicators, these lines and breaks only get shown if you have the indicator. So you really need it. Now in this case, we're gonna say that the higher time frame, our daily bias, is bullish. So what we needed is for price to have a break to the upside, creating a higher high and then also a higher low, and then we need price to come back into our range. So step number 1 is going to be waiting for the 1 minute to be doing the exact same thing as the higher time frames. In this case, we're going to say that our daily bias is bullish. So this whole time that it was breaking down, creating lower lows and lower highs, we were doing nothing. I waited for price to break up right here, creating a higher high and a higher low. And that's step number 1 for the 1 minute. Then what we want is for price to come back into our range, which is from the current protected low and current protected high, to then put in our buy stop order. Now we're gonna be using a buy stop order and not a market, not a limit, because I want momentum. If price doesn't give me momentum, then 80% of the times, and this is data that I've collected from backtesting and journaling, 80% of the times price is just gonna fizzle sideways, do nothing, right? So make me no money, or go down, completely invalidating the setup. So once price comes into our range, we put our order. And you guys can see that's why we need the momentum. And I didn't go break even up until this break right here happened. Why? Because the stop loss, what the fuck, not the stop loss, because the low was outside of our entry. So we were good to go break even. And as always, target at least a 1 to 2. And that's the whole strategy, guys. Super simple. You guys can replicate it. But without further ado, let's get right into the trading view breakdown. First things first, creating daily bias. So last night when I stepped in, I saw that clearly in the daily we were breaking down, making the daily bearish. Now we can step down to the 4 hour and look for the exact same thing. And here I was. We can clearly see that the 4 hour is also breaking down. We have 1, 2, actually no, this is 2, 3, 4 breaks to the downside, making it really bearish. So now that we know that the daily and the 4 hour are both doing the exact same thing, in this case creating lower lows and lower highs, then when we step down to the 1 minute, we're going to be looking for sells, which is what I did last night. So coming into the session last night, we can see that in the 1 minute we were breaking up. So what do I need? I need for price to start creating lower lows and lower highs, so breaking this low right here. So as soon as that gets broken, then we can start looking for our actual confirmation. Okay, we get the break right there. So now I just need price to come into our range right here. Even if it taps it a little bit, which is what it did last night, then we can put our sell stop order. Okay, right there, we're mitigating the zone just now, well, the range. So we're gonna put our sell stop order right here, and we're gonna target, in this case, last night I ended up targeting at 3 to 4, and boom, we get our take profit hit. After that, I look for a re-entry. Now I want you guys to see exactly why I don't enter every single break, even if it's following, like, let's say the bearish bias. And you guys can see right here, we get the break, it comes back into our zone, but guess what, it doesn't give us the momentum. That's exactly why we use the sell stop orders instead of using a sell limit or just entering at the market price, because this happens, it just goes when there's no momentum. 90% of the time, like I said, it does not go our way. And see, it keeps breaking up. Right here we get another bearish break, but you see it gives us no momentum, so we don't get entered. Another bearish break, you see right here, it comes back into the range, but it gives no momentum, so it would have not tapped us in, and we saved ourselves from a break even and a loss. Now right here, we're about to get our break. Lo and behold, we get our break right there. It comes back into our range, mitigating, so we can put our order from this low and our stop loss at that high and see how it goes. Okay, we do not get tapped in yet. Okay, we don't get tapped in yet, but right here, we do end up getting tapped in, and lo and behold, it hits our TP, or I think not yet here. Oh no, my TP was not even 2.52. My TP was around 3.5. Yeah, right there. So at this point, we are break even. And there you go. It hit our TP after, I think it was like 30, 40, 50 minutes. And that's the full breakdown, guys. And don't forget, guys, if you want to learn this full strategy, I have a full free course. And also, if you want access to the indicator, and for all that, all you gotta do is click the first link in the description or the one that's pinned in the comments. But as always, give it a like, give it a comment, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.